Hello. Today I'd like to talk about insurance. I feel like when we're seeing the debates and discussing things, that I'm really troubled by the fact that what we're not discussing. I'm a firm believer. I subscribe deeply in the reality that things are not done to us; they're done for us, and um, and so I'm asking the cards. Um, I want to know that we are going to have safety nets put in place. We're in a pandemic. I myself have been affected by the medical insurance conundrum we've been in for years. I had pre existing conditions and no medical insurance at the beginning of what has been a really difficult time for me. And I was very, very fortunate in that I met and married my husband, who was a federal employee, um, and he was able to provide insurance for my needs, which was in fact critical at the time, and pretty much like almost immediately after we were married. I had a tumor the size of a grapefruit removed. So, very important for me, insurance is. So, this is a rather personal a reading for me. I'm asking, uh, I find it disgusting, honestly, that these politicians who make so much money and have such good insurance um, are not talking about this issue when so many people need this very thing during a pandemic, mind you, and we're asking ourselves, why aren't people really going in and getting tested, or what is wrong with our contact tracing system and all the above? And I can tell you right now, what's wrong with it is that the average American person who is not educated or in the working class and already fairly stressed because financially we are falling behind in ways we can't even begin to keep up with. But what about our insurance? Where is the humanity in our insurance process? The price goes up, the care goes down. I have full coverage. Yes, I do. I'm very fortunate. But let me tell you something. My full coverage is garbage. It is garbage. And it had to go to garbage. Now I'm going to just kind of go here just a tiny little bit. My insurance had to change so that Obamacare could um, fill in the gaps. And now I will say that for me, I would rather have less insurance and have everyone have what they need than people not have insurance at all. So, but what my question is insurance. What does the future for all those of us who are really just like scratching our heads? We're in a pandemic. We can't afford, an $8,000 medical bill. And I just happen to know somebody who just has one right now, who is in the working class, has insurance, but her hospital bill from just a little brief thing is so ridiculous that, there's no way she can pay it. She'll be spending the rest of her life making payments to pay it. So I want to know, Spirit. I want to know about this insurance problem we have. I want to know, is anybody going to pick this one up? Because this is a really serious matter, and especially during a pandemic, and we don't have anybody talking about it even. So, oh my goodness, I'm appalled. Okay, so I'm going to put the laptop down. I'm going to select 14 cards, and we're going to go on a little reading. We're going to use the Witch's Tarot today, and that's what we're going to do. And I don't normally read this often. I'm probably going to be more on average about once, maybe two readings a week is about my average, because I am, in school. I'm taking classes right now for astrology, and I'm getting in there about halfway, and it's there's a lot to it. So anyway, and I want to be a good astrologer. So let's go ahead. I'm going to select 14 cards, and this is the Witch's Tarot. I like to use my left hand because I feel like it's guided better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay. I have been dancing around the tarot since about 2000, and I did not get into reading tarot, although I would watch tarot readings. I did not get into it until Trump was elected. And because I chose not to get into it, partially because I came from a very religious, my family background is very religious. My dad is a chaplain. And of course, this is blasphemy according to the religious energies that are out there. But, and for me, it was very scary to decide to come out. But anyway, here we go. To start it out, well, I kind of like this. We're dripping with something new, something more connected, more loving. And I hope that's right, because my goodness, I think our insurance situation that we're in the United States has to be one of the most embarrassing things I have ever seen in my life. To think that this country is so wealthy that and that we have so much, but we can't even hardly, take a dollar out of our wallet for somebody who needs it. So, the greed is just epic. Okay. So it starts out, and I think that this speaks to, it really does, 5 of Wands, that lack of intellectual regard for the health of the people of the United States, and during a pandemic, no less, where I think that the general concern, fear, and problem with this time for people is, we're being asked, okay, you may have some financial uncertainty because, well, we're not going to provide you any support. But if you get the virus, we want you just to go home, close your doors, and don't become a statistic, because that'll bring attention to you as well. Yeah, we're really embattled, and people don't know whether to wear a mask, not wear a mask. And then on top of it, really, we have a lot of financial insecurity. So 5 of Wands, yes. I mean, and we do feel very embattled. And it's crossed by the King of Cups, that lacking of connected love. This is what we want. This is what we dream of. This is what we think we're supposed to be seeing right now. Someone riding from battle and providing us a loving way forward. Where's our hero? Well, folks, I got news for you. This is you. You are our hero. We are our hero. We have to get out, and we have to vote, and we have to ask for and demand what is ours. And at this time, sadly, I feel that either we have a mind virus, which is entirely possible, I don't know, but people seem to be, in some ways, apathetic and unwilling to step up. But the hero is you. You need to be your hero, and you need to ask for what you need. Not only ask, but demand and go into gratitude and receive what you need. Okay? This is very serious. Our medical insurance situation is very serious. And honestly, I wonder, how do the medical people, the people who are in the field of medicine, how are they coping with this? And I don't think it's very nice. I just don't right now. I think it's a really ugly situation. And in the past position above, we get the 6 of Wands, this this riding into battle, this taking everything we have forward. And really, that is where we're at. Although this is past, we're carrying it all in, and notice the clouds in the background, the confusion. We are moving forward in a state of confusion, as though we know what we're doing, as if we've got ourselves deeply connected. But the clouds in the background say we're doing so in confusion. And we are in confusion. We really are. I don't think any of us know quite what to think anymore. Then we get the Four of Cups, that how we interact. And I'd like to think this is in the very recent past, that this is about to change. Because we did see at the bottom of the pack that Ace of Cups. We do need to interact, and we need to reach across the aisle, and we need to be of service to each other. We need to be in abundance. And I don't really know where the highly limited thinking came that if I provide you something, that you'll stop trying to provide it for yourself. We stopped being a society in some ways, at least from a governmental level, that reaches across and is helpful to each other. Okay. And in the below, we get the Four of Swords. So yes, this is a breakdown. This is the structure as we see it of our system of, and especially in our medical care. It's broken. It's truly broken. I mean, I think when Obamacare happened, what was really kind of troubling to me, I always knew I knew because even then I was having issues, and right now that my issues are more significant because time has gone by. But at the time, I remember my doctor telling me that the way my medical care was going to be provided was going to be changing, and it probably wasn't going to be as adequate as it was previously. So, I understood that. And I think that we all maybe have some anger, and maybe think that Obamacare is a really bad thing for that one reason. But I can assure you that it's an adjustment that we're going through. And in order for us to become a dignified, civilized, and modern country, we have to deal with this medical insurance issue. And I think that we probably have to take it out of the private sector to actually get ahead of it. Because I think what the problem is that we're taking something that is really a cornerstone of what we need, and we're handing it to the private sector, and we're expecting them not to treat us poorly financially. And I think that that's foolishness. Okay. I do. I think that's foolishness. And it's led to a tower. We're in a tower moment. We have insurance, those of us who have it. It's not adequate. I'm appalled at my medical insurance, to be honest with you, how bad it got. And I think that that's maybe some anger behind Obamacare. And I don't want to. I want Obamacare to survive. Okay, I want to be perfectly clear. I want it to survive, because to get rid of the notion that pre-existing conditions should not be covered is the first step of many that needs to take place. And in my opinion, if you're a child and you get cancer and you need treatment, the family shouldn't have to sell their house and work 10 jobs each while their child dies. I'm sorry, but I think that we as a society need to be bigger than this. And in fact, I'm going to go one step further. A lot of the reason we're sick is the way we go about doing things, the way we manufacture food, the air we breathe, the way we get electricity. So in large part, the way we are right now is a tower moment. And there it is, the tower. we create our own problems, and then we wallow in them. And medically, a lot of where we're at, we've created it. We drink dirty water, we breathe dirty air, we get dirty electricity, we eat dirty food. And as the bottom of the pack shows, something new is coming. And I that is a beautiful thought to me. At the heart of it, we get the King of Swords. We are in a time where we are being shown our limitations, the limitations we have. This king is here to tell us that, yeah, I'm here to intellectually cut you down and remind you of who you are. And again, that's saying, I'm not doing this to you. This is being done for you. Is Spirit bringing about this time of total confusion, chaos, and trouble to bring about something in us that is needed? Some kind of empathy, connection, reality. Folks, we need insurance. We need coverage. And a pandemic is here to tell us that. And that's right. And it's been a lot of, we're in a hard phase right now. It is a lot of hard work to try to stay up with where we're at financially. Insurance is expensive. How we get it takes a lot of hard work. But I really do hope that something new is coming, and a part of me, I want the magical thinking that I've been taught from my childhood, that always some hero comes along on a white horse and rescues us. I don't know that that's going to happen. I do think it's up to us to do the hard work and to say that no, this isn't acceptable anymore. Medical care, just by the means of being alive, I need to have care. I need to be cared for. Okay. So then we get the Wheel of the Yore, and the Wheel of Fortune, basically. And in this deck, it's the Wheel of the Yore. And this is speaking to rapid transformation in our hopes and fears position. I think November is going to be particularly difficult. And I think what I'm seeing, without getting into it much, I mean, I'm talking about insurance, but in order for this issue to really be addressed, there has to be a change to make room for what's needed. And I do see a change coming. And what's lovely and hopeful, in my opinion, is that we have a full moon, the 30th of October. In addition to that full moon, we have a Uranus conjunction to the moon. Our moon is our emotions, how we feel, how we listen, how we love, how we interact in a loving way. And it's conjunct Uranus in Scorpio, of all things, which is going to be kind of sharp. And I think as of this full moon, it's a potential possibility that it is a time for us to open up our minds and think sharply about this issue. So rapid transformation, okay? And in our conclusion position, something new, something intellectually new is coming. There is new information. Now, that we need that. We are, and I'm going to maybe ask the cards. I'm going to just set that one off because I do want to know about that something new. And it's the death of something old. I love that. I think that I don't need to say too much about this. I think we all kind of have our opinions. And I do think that a change this signifies that one, we have a new energy coming in that is of an intellectual nature. And if you'll notice the bird of that he is he's flying out ahead of the sword and in front of the clouds. He's going to bring us something new. And if you look a little beyond the image, you can see the clouds start to thin. I think that is us getting our clarity back. So, and then it's followed up by this, oh, excuse me, by this death card. That, death doesn't mean literal death. Now, in this case, it could, though, because I have been getting, as I have said before, COVID and the train wreck. I am really getting that we may see something rather drastic by the end of this month. Now, of course, I did state, and I want to make this perfectly clear, that tarot readers, psychics, we get information, but a lot of times it's very difficult for us to nail down the timing. So, but I like I like what I'm seeing. I must say, I do like what I'm seeing. This Ace of Swords, something new, something intellectual, something. The clouds are starting to kind of break up, and maybe we're going to start to see more clearly. And then this rapid transformation, the Death card, something new is coming. Thank goodness, because really I am so tired. And then we get the Ten of Swords, that the way we've done business in the past in this medical insurance and whatnot, it's done. How can we have this country have the best medical doctors in the world? Countries send people from all over the world to go to medical school here, and yet we have such a poor-minded system for delivering it to our own people. That to me is just such a slap in the face. Um, and I have to say, this political cycle, I'm finding that I find it disgusting that we're not in our normal way at all. And then we get the Empress, that divine feminine, coming forward and maybe saying through the pandemic and through the chaos, is this really the way you want things? Is this what you're looking for? Because I have some concern for you. I don't know that you've really thought this out. And, I think that we've been told now that, it's so expensive to provide medical insurance, and if you help somebody, they won't help themselves. I mean, we've been told all this really confusing, crazy, chaotic information that really, quite frankly, is not true. And that pandemic is here to tell us that, a lot of what you think you know about how things are maybe isn't so much the truth. And so we get the Ace of Wands. New possibilities. New things are going to sprout out of this. Now, I got this reading. I got, well, a lot of arcana. I got the Tower, the Wheel of Yore. I got the Empress. So, no matter what, we have a lot of things going here, a lot of change coming. But what I really want to know, without really saying outright what I want to know, is this next 4 years, this Ace of Swords spirit. I want to know, does this mean that we are going to find our way forward and people are going to be provided insurance in some way in the future? Because, this is such an important matter. I mean, I don't know how much more clear it can be, like during a pandemic, when people don't feel comfortable to go get medical care because they can't afford it. And they keep working even if they're sick because, well, quite frankly, they can't afford it. No matter what, we have a problem. So I am going to continue to just ask this question. And I'm going to I think I'm going to go along with, trying to find a deck I want to use. I'm going to do the Crow Tarot, and we're going to select again 14 cards. So we got the Ace of Swords that we're going to set off to the side. And I am just going to go in and I'm going to ask, does this mean this Ace of Swords and the Ace of Cups? We got a lot of good new energy coming in. So does this mean that we are going to finally address and deal with our medical insurance issue, Spirit? So let's see. During a pandemic, of all things, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Okay, so we are asking for clarification on this Ace of Swords, this new beginnings, this new intellectual start. I'm kind of just tickled pink to see that. Bottom of the pack is the moon. Okay, and we are getting ready to have a conjunction, moon Uranus conjunction, which is going to mean the Uranus is going to be sudden and unexpected surprises. It's a full moon conjunct Uranus. So that who knows what's going to happen, but we do have something here that's kind of interesting. That's okay. So Page of Pentacles, how it relates to our Ace of Swords, something beginning, something new information is coming about how we are going to be doing things. Okay. And it is going to be crossed by a 6 of Pentacles. How we give and receive things, how we go forward. Is this something to do with the election, perhaps? That something is about to break open and change. In the past, something came along that brought to our attention the need for rapid transformation. This is in a past position, and I would say this pandemic is the Chariot in my mind, in this reading. Now, not always, but in this reading, it's the Chariot, okay? And then we get the 2 of Cups, this massive medical problem that we have that's affecting us in all different kinds of ways, that we're in this, I wouldn't call it a negotiation, but an awareness, because we are sick or we're being exposed to this pandemic, our awareness is there. So very nice. And it's bringing about a call for action. A 4 of Wands, or wands, basically, or staffs. Basically, it's saying that, yes, something new needs to be put in place as a result of new information, which we've always needed. I think that divinely Spirit knows that it takes an incredible amount of push upon our brains to get us to move. And there's our movement right there. We're moving into action, okay? Now, in our very near future, of course, we have a 4 of Swords. We're going to see something that is going to clear up any doubt about the need to do the right thing medically. I think it's ridiculous to be in a country that medical insurance is something that is so difficult for people to get. I mean, if you have a job, and I like personally, I have a job. My husband has a job. I have a job, and my job, if I were to be trying to financially provide, I wouldn't be able to afford the insurance my company provides, number one, and I couldn't afford to get sick and use it on in addition to that. So, the structure of things we have. Now, I'm not complaining about my job or my company and how they do things. We're all in the same boat. And that, the reason that I even have insurance is as good as it is because it's the federal insurance, but that's not even really that great. So, but for those people who are living in the real world, insurance right now is it's awful. It's awful. And they get away with charging us unbelievable amounts of money and providing very little for that money. So, and so it's kind of a point now where we're in temperance, right? We're pouring from one cup to the next. And we're doing our best. We really are. We're all doing our best, but we're falling behind further and further and further. And what is it going to take? Well, I think it takes us doing the work. I think that we have been sitting back and waiting and waiting and waiting for someone to come along and take charge. Folks, you got to vote with your feet. You got to vote with your eyeballs. You got to vote with your fingers. You got to vote. You've got to get out and vote. If you want something done about our current problems, you have to get out and vote. And you can't just vote with your fingers. You've got to vote with your wallet. That means when you feel morally like something is not quite right, maybe you feel like morally there are people supporting an idea, a candidate, a structure that you don't agree with, stop shopping there. Stop giving them your money, because there's nothing that's going to bring this country around faster than voting with your wallet. Okay. And we need to send a message of what we need and want to our government, because they have forgotten us. They think they're a standalone operation. They've forgotten that we are the government. We, the people, we've forgotten we're the government. And we need to take an interest in this issue, because if we don't, we can expect more of the same. They will take more money from you. They will continue to give you less. And again, we have the key to this. We notice that there's two little birds below and one big bird standing on the key. We are two, they are one. We can solve this problem. We can say, as the people who are supposed to be the government, that are the backbone, we can say, no, I vote with my wallet. This is what I want and need. Now let's get it going. We have the right, folks, to demand what we need. And the problem I'm seeing right now is we're not demanding anything. I'm not hearing enough to make me satisfied that they understand where we're at. And in the conclusion position, there we go. There it is. We're tied up by our own intellectual doing. We are not asking the right questions. We are not coming out swinging. We are not voting with our wallets. We are just going along and hoping something will change and not stepping out from this situation that we've bound ourselves up in. We don't have to stay in this position. Now, I realize that what I'm saying is kind of scary. I'm saying, yeah, you have to kind of step up and you have to use your big brain and you have to find a way forward. But folks, we need medical insurance. We need it. It's not an option. And our doctors, our medical people who've worked a long time and paid a lot of money for their degrees, we're treating them like they're yesterday's news too. So it's all very tragic in my opinion. And then we get this Five of Swords, where we're just, we are embattled. We're weary, we're tired, but is this situation we're in being done to us, or is it being done for us? And I think it's being done for us to see that we can't keep giving our money and the keys to our car to people who are irresponsible, who are toddlers basically, who are narcissists and psychopaths. I mean, and expect them to treat us well. I think we are deeply confused about what we're doing. And I hope that the cards say we're going to see rapid transformation. Here we go. The earth itself is going to see to it. We are going to see rapid transformation. I've seen, I think, every ace in the deck between the two readings because something new is coming. There's new information, okay? And it's going to be a lot more loving. Something kinder and gentler is coming. But don't forget that it isn't because of a hero, it's because of you. It's because you are doing your work. You're bringing something new forward. You're thinking differently, okay? And when you do that, when we step up and we start thinking differently, when we start voting with our wallets and making our position perfectly clear, and I do think on November 3rd, we are going to do that. I can tell you, I'm going to walk on my eyelashes to get my vote in. And I am living in California. My vote is going in Oregon. I have to drive after work on the 2nd for 6.5 hours and take my ballot to the ballot box. And let me tell you something, I'm gratefully going to do it. I don't care if it takes me 6.5 hours to drive there and that I have to work that day. I'm doing it. Folks, we've got to take action. This is not an action card, it's a sword. But what it is saying is that look, things are upside down. Things are, the bird cage is upside down. This is it. We can't continue with this. This is a cycle that, if we continue with this is lights out for us, okay? And then we've got the 7 of Wands. That yes, things are transforming as we speak. For full moon on the 30th of October, conjunct Uranus. Sudden and unexpected something in this category. And I think it is going to be that we are going to see that the moon has some surprises for us on the 30th of October. And it is going to bring about rapid transformation. Get out and vote. Vote with your wallet. We need insurance. They're not listening. They don't seem to think it's important. And I can tell you, as a person who has experienced the shame and blame of not being able to pay my medical bills and whatnot, that we need to think differently. We have to think bigger. And when we're a country that has so much and we can't provide medical insurance to the masses, and other countries can, and we're so fearful if we provide medical insurance, are we going to be a socialist country? I don't think so. I think that we are going to be a country with a moral backbone that we need. Okay, so with that, I would ask that you would hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And join me on www.twiggie.com. And I do a full range of astrology readings. And I'm an astrology student. So if you would like to join me on my website and have a reading, I also do tarot readings. Just go take a look around and see what all we do. And I have another reader that is a Saromancy and water reader and is learning tarot right now. So with that, I would ask you again, hit the like, share, and subscribe button. Join me. And if you're a new reader, we're all about getting all of us new readers out there and getting us promoted, because, it is rather difficult right now to come out and use our big voice boxes. With that, I thank you.